Hey guys, LaFirst Customs here. So today we're going to do a little video, and basically I'm going to do a video on this truck because I like how it's set up right now, and I'm going to tear it down and do a complete new build with it. Why would I do that? Because I got bored, I guess. I don't know. No, like really though, it's a crawler. It's a crawler chassis. It's set up like a crawler, so it still has crazy articulation and stuff. I'd like to make it a little more like a scale truck, so that's what we're going to do is finish the conversion on this right to make it a full scale truck, and it's all going to be like custom stuff. So I was going to just order a chassis and bolt it all together, but where's fun in that? So we're going to make a custom chassis for this guy just to kind of see what we can do. I don't mind making it a little heavier because it is a crawler and I want it to go places. So definitely going to make it a little heavier with we're using 16 gauge satin coat steel. I cut it down as much as I can, and tried to make it look like real frame rails and whatnot. Nothing's painted yet, everything's really rough. So keep in mind when you see this stuff, it's rough. It's going to go through stages and then it's going to get looking better. But yeah, right now I've got a bit of a frame going. But I want to talk about this truck a little bit more first. I like the way it's set up right now. I've had this for maybe 12, 13 years. So I sold it to my dad after having it for a few years. It was started sitting on my shelf, so I threw the axial body on it. And I just had seen this body online. I really liked it, so I put the axial body on it. And then it sat around. It's just looking at me and whatnot. And I was getting out of the hobby, so my dad bought this because he thought it was a cool four-wheel drive truck, and it gave him something to kind of bomb around the backyard with a 3S battery in it. So he had it and used it a couple of times, and he had it for probably maybe 8 years. So then I started asking for it back. I got back into the hobby, and I was playing with stuff, different cars and whatnot, and I wanted my crawler back. So I started asking if he still had it, and he definitely still had it kicking around, just covered in dust. And so I started negotiating price with him and whatnot. Well, he gifted it back to me for a Christmas present, which was awesome. Like, it couldn't have been a better gift, like, to get it back. Of course, he called me and asked me first, do you want this kind of thing? And, like, would it be acceptable? And I'm like, yes, like this, it's awesome. So I couldn't imagine getting this as a Christmas present to begin with, let alone getting it back after so many years. Something I kind of cherish. I've done a few things to it myself, so I do like the truck. I got this little AX10 Scorpion competition crawler, and Novak 55 turn expert setup in it. What I pulled out of that truck. So it's a nice little clean setup in the truck. That's how it's going to stay. I'm going to just use it, not mod it in any way, fix things as they break, and it's just going to be my go-to crawler for when I want to crawl extreme stuff for the track or whatever. And yeah, so now that we have a crawler, dedicated crawler, this can become a dedicated scale truck, and that's what's going to happen. So this is what I come up with for a frame for the scale truck. It's a little long right now, front and rear. Actually, the rear looks like it's pretty close. The front's about a half an inch long or whatever. I left everything long so I can adapt into my current bumpers. I don't want to weld my bumpers on, I want to bolt them on. So, but this is one welded piece. So that's my frame. That's all I'm going to weld. Everything else is going to be bolted in. I'm pretty happy with it. It's like, this is something I made over my break time over the last couple of days. Quickly, a few minutes here and there to work on it. I ground it back apart and redid the shock towers, and I made some adjustments and whatnot, and come home and looked at it, and then back to work with it, and made some more adjustments and whatnot. And this is what I've ended up with so far. It'll probably variate as we go. I think things like the droop blocks are right now they're low enough and everything, but they're not on enough of an angle. But we're gonna see how the chassis fits on it. So basically, I'm at the point now where I need to tear down this very nice build that I really, really like. I like driving this truck and everything, but we're gonna tear it down, and we're going to fit this frame into the truck. This is gonna be the new frame for this truck. So I'll show you guys, kind of give you a side view of what's going on, so you can kind of see how it's gonna fit in there. That's about where the frame's gonna sit now. It's gonna upright my shocks rather than have them leaning. I'm gonna do a different trailing arm setup in the rear. We're gonna play around with some different linkages and whatnot. Oh yeah, and a few of you are gonna comment on the weight of this. Yes, it's a little bit heavy for what I'm using it for. Honestly, I think the truck's just gonna work really good with the extra weight in it. We'll see. I don't run very big batteries or anything like that. I run a lot of electronics and whatnot, but as far as like the weight comparison, this feels like it's 15 pounds and this feels like it's a pound. So I don't think it's going to be a huge deal going from the aluminum horseshoe frame to the new scale truck frame. All right, guys. Got the truck stripped down. I've got, I pulled the guts right out of it, pulled the electronics from it, all that I need to pull. I can leave the servo on for now. Nice brushless setup in this. I played back and forth between brushed and brushless setups. I ended up with a censored brushless setup. Team Orion Vortex R10, 2 3-cell, 160 amp, and LRP X12 Vector. 21.5 turn. This is like, I have ample ESCs and motors from racing and whatnot, so I just wanted to find a brush setup that I had that would work well in this. I have it geared really low. I think I have a 15 tooth or maybe lower on that, so it works really well. I have no cogging at all or anything, and I like the fact that I can throw a 3-cell battery in it, and it's got lots of speed. It's got lots of speed with the 2-cell battery, so for a trail truck it's going to be a really nice setup. Okay, so got the truck torn down, body off. Make your wires as removable as possible so you can pull your body. Like, trust me, it's super annoying if you have to unhook stuff to pull your body, or, you know, like untie wrap things is what I mean. Use twist ties, that helps a lot. I use twist ties that I get in packages and things like that. Sometimes there's just things that, you know, if you have wires running from body to front bumper or whatever, you got a twist tie on. In this case, I just pulled the front bumper right off with the body. So you can kind of see I got a lot going on under the body, but keep it clear of your windows and it looks good. Okay, guys, let's finish tearing this down and see if we can adapt it over to our new scale chassis. At least get some pole layout going on. All right. So I've got this laid out. I've got the chassis. It's starting to fit and look like it's gonna work the way I want it to. Everything's looking kind of nice. It's gonna be a nice little scale truck. I'm gonna be able to push down trees with this little thing. So anyways, I'm gonna drill some holes in that. I've already got it set up for trailing links. Like the bottom plate I've ground out so this way I made space on each side, so this way I can bolt trailing links on if I want to. Ideally you'd go with an aluminum bottom plate that has a trailing link set up on it, but I'm doing this just, you know, I like to do custom builds and just do it with stuff I've got laying around. If I was going to order parts for this, I'd order an SCX10 set of links for it and then drill them out for that. I might do that later on as the build progresses. If I find I need them, you know, or if they'll look a lot, there are some that look a lot more like real links. So I wouldn't mind something like that just to make it look more scale. Again, scale is the objective here. We're scaling out a crawler. So, okay guys, stay tuned for updates and subscribe. All right, guys, we've been going for a few hours, cutting, grinding, welding, you know, just playing around with this chassis a little bit. Drilled some holes in it, got it mounted, cut an 1.25 inches off the front of it, an inch off the back of it. Started playing with the body a little bit, did a couple body mods just to make it kind of fit on here. But everything's mounted. She's a rolling chassis, so we've got our front bumper bolted on. So I really like how that's bolted on. It's super strong now for winching and whatnot. It's weighted probably about the same as it was before for balance wise. It definitely feels a little heavier, but not like I wouldn't notice it if I don't know, I don't have the electronics in it and battery in it yet, but it feels like a truck with electronics and battery in it right now. So maybe it'll be a little heavier, but I think it's going to be a really nice build. I like how the suspension corrects itself now a lot quicker and easier. It squares up nice, much more like a trail truck. Suspension's all straight up and down. It looks kind of nice. I had to do some spacing and swapping with things. The trail arms, I had to swap them with the shock mounts on the bottom, so I switched them out. But that made the shocks mount a little straighter to leave room for the cup. Yeah, I don't know, it's turning out really good so far. So I'll show you guys with the body on. Don't mind the extra wires just laying all over the place. You gotta kind of nestle the body down, and I haven't got my body mounting done yet, so it's hard to know each time which way the body fits, but so far I really like the scale look, but this thing's looking awesome. It's got a nice wheel well gap. The body's in the center of the wheel wells like I wanted. I had to move it a little bit. The articulation's correct, or much more correct to scale now too. So it has like articulation, less articulation. It'll, you know, tip over a little bit. So I really like the way this is turning out. It's like a little scale truck. No body rubbing or nothing, so that's nice. This is gonna look awesome when it's done. So, okay guys, keep following me and subscribe. We're gonna get this truck built probably tonight.